Hi, class. We are continuing our discussion about benefits. We are on to chapter 13, which talks all about benefit options. Obviously, for most of this class, we've been discussing, compensation and how companies determine what to pay, how much to pay, and all those details. But now we've shifted gears a little bit and looking at the other side of, why we work, which is benefits. Obviously, the main reason we work is to get money, but the other reason is all the benefits that we get. And contrary to popular belief, and I think this is for me the most important thing to know about this chapter is that technically there are only four legally required benefits. Any other benefit that a company offers you or an organization offers you is completely voluntary. They do it out of the goodness of their hearts or because it helps attract and retain employees. But legally, only four are required. So the first off is workers' compensation. So, if you get injured on the job through no fault of your own, or even in certain cases, if it was your own fault, you can receive compensation that your company or organization pays into an account to get money for when you're unable to work because of injuries at the workplace. So workers' compensation is the first one. The second one is Social Security. We've all heard about Social Security, that you get it whenever you retire. It's a government given, monetary benefit. So all employers are required to pay into the Social Security fund. So that is an option that you would receive as part of your working. And you'll notice, like on your paychecks, you'll see that Social Security is taken out as part of your taxes. So that's one thing that you also get. The third thing is unemployment insurance. So if you are let go from your job, if your job is eliminated, you're laid off, and even in certain cases, even if you leave your job, if you're terminated, in most locations you are eligible to get unemployment insurance. Generally, the only time you're ineligible for unemployment is if you voluntarily resign. Now there are exceptions to that I don't want to burden you with, but unemployment. If you lose your job, your employer is required to pay into an account, so you can get a percentage of your work until you find another job. And then, so those are kind of the three main ones. There's technically a fourth. It's kind of what I jokingly call the laws. So FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. If you're entitled to be able to get FMLA, for the care of yourself. COBRA, which is a benefit that if you change jobs, and the continuation of your health insurance. HIPAA is the privacy of your health insurance. And again, I don't care that you know those definitions or know what they represent. Really, as long as you know workers' comp, Social Security, and unemployment, those are the three main ones that I want you to know. But technically, the laws, FMLA, COBRA, and HIPAA are fourth. And your book does talk about those, so make sure that you review that information. Well, the other two main, things that that we work for are medical and retirement. So those are the other two main benefits. Again, none of those are required to be given by an organization. But again, if a company, especially bigger companies, don't offer those types of things, it's going to be hard to retain employees. So with medical, obviously, as we've seen in our society, the biggest issue is controlling costs. So when companies offer things like vision insurance and dental insurance, short-term disability, long-term disability. It's all designed to help keep you healthy. And the kind of the trend in benefits right now is to try to do all these healthy activities and keep employees healthy so that they won't be using a lot of the really detailed health benefits. So again, there's definitely separate classes that the school offers regarding details with benefits. But again, the main thing that I want you to know with medical is that the biggest issue that companies have is not so much they don't want to offer, vision and dental and all that. They all do, but again, it's controlling the cost and how can we ensure that it's affordable for not just the company but for the employee as well. Which is why we have things like co-pays and co-insurance and things like that, because that helps offset some of the costs. Deductibles, things along those lines. That's why companies create those, not to be mean, but to help share the cost with the employee to make sure that whenever you're using your health insurance, it's for solid reasons essentially. So that's the medical, and then of course retirement. Obviously, whenever we are no longer able to work, we want to have money saved up that we can use in our golden years. And really, what I want you to know about retirement is that there's two types. There's defined benefit and defined contribution. Defined benefit is really, think of your traditional pension, where you work for a company for 20, 30 years, you pay into their pension, and then whenever you retire, you just draw monthly payments off of what you have earned throughout the company. So that's kind of, what's been historically the biggest thing in American society is a pension program, also called defined benefit. But the other more common one now, anyway, and what you most likely see is what we call defined contribution, which is your kind of your stereotypical 401k or 403b, where the company will contract with another company, you pay into that, and then you can draw it out whenever you retire. So, and if you leave your job, you can usually take that account with you. So TIAA and some of the big financial services companies, they usually all offer 401ks where you can, put your money in from one account into another account. So make sure you know the difference between defined benefit and defined contribution. So, well, and then, to kind of summarize with everything else, obviously there are other benefits, vacation time, sick time, paid time off, other little perks that the company offers. Again, all very necessary. But if you want to get real technical, companies aren't even required to give you a lunch break, and in most states, in most jurisdictions, they do have local laws that say, okay, if you work more than 4 hours, you're entitled to a 30-minute break, or if you work at least 6 hours, you're entitled to a 30-minute lunch period. Though that's usually the law in localities and states, but from a federal government standpoint, there actually is no law on the books that says you're required to give break time and lunch time and vacation and sick time. Contrary to popular belief, it's just not required. So, but again, can you imagine working for a company or organization that didn't give you a bathroom break, or didn't give you time off to eat, or didn't offer you any vacation or sick time? It probably wouldn't be the greatest place in the world to work. So that's why companies offer them. It's designed to keep you satisfied long term. And that goes back to some of the chapters we were talking about earlier in the semester about creating long-term value for our employees. So again, very, very important chapter. Chapter 13 covers a lot of great information about benefits. So make sure you review it, because several questions from this chapter are on the exam. So as always, thank you very much, everyone. And if you have questions, let me know, and I will see you for our next chapter.